Untold truth. How to build money from nothing. Let's see how many zeros in $1 million. This is how $10 million might seem. This is how $100 million might seem. And this is how $1 billion would seem. Jeff Bezos, the creator of Amazon, is worth 117 times this amount. Then there's you, who is undoubtedly working right now. One that you obtained as a result of your university studies. You most likely do not have much in the way of savings. Your living expenditures seem to be exorbitant. You get the impression that you are underpaid. You have credit card debt that must be paid off. Perhaps you're a student pursuing a degree in the hopes of landing a good-paying career. You most likely do not have any savings. Only a nagging school loan hangs over your head. Wealth is amassing. All of this feels like a distant memory. How did they manage it? You wonder when you see all those millionaires and billionaires, particularly those that got there at such a young age. It perplexes you and irritates you. They were born into riches, they scammed their way to the money, and money does not make them wicked. And you're not intelligent enough. Those fantasies you had about purchasing that home, your favorite sports car, paying off your mortgage, or going across the globe will never come true. Only dreams. There is nothing more or less. You arrive to an unpleasant revelation. The game is rigged. It's always been a rigged game, and you're on the losing end of it. But what if I told you that you were mistaken? What if there were a way to get there? Is there a genuine formula for riches, a science behind how money works? What if you didn't have to give up your ambitions of paying off your parents' mortgage or touring the world? Would you label me a liar if I said that? So I assure you that I am not. And at the conclusion of this film, you'll realize there's another side to the coin that you're not seeing. But be warned, the road ahead is difficult. It's full of ups and downs, as well as difficulties. It will need you to swallow some harsh facts that the educational system and society have not yet informed you. And, to be frank, many of you will not make it to the end of this path. But for those of you who do, at the end of this journey comes riches beyond your wildest dreams. The freedom of never having to worry about money awaits at the end of that path. So, are you on board with me? If you're still with me, let's not waste any more time. What do you believe about money in your heart? Is that something you do for a living? Is it acquired or inherited? Is it the source of all evil? Are you yearning for more of it? Have you been pursuing it your whole life? The truth is that your upbringing and surroundings have shaped the majority of your money beliefs. If you were born into a household that did not have much money growing up, you are more likely to assume that you will not have much money as well. Or maybe you took the other approach and sought to earn as much money as possible in order to never be in that situation. Again, it doesn't help that your school didn't educate you anything about this topic. As a result, the majority of you will have incorrect notions about money that will hinder your progress on this path. Now, bear with me because we're going to have to modify the way you've always seen money. Hollywood has a long history of portraying the affluent and wealthy as malevolent, backstabbing, entitled, or corrupt persons. I'll get a squirrel if you get one for me. The question is, have you accepted that stereotype? According to a recent WealthX survey of the world's very affluent, Those with a net worth of at least $30 million. 68% of them were self-made. And it seems that every other research supports this finding. Howard Schultz, self-made millionaire. Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, born in poverty. Jeff Bezos, self-made billionaire. Elon Musk, self-made billionaire. Sarah Blakely, self-made billionaire. What do these folks know that you don't? The truth is that you are completely incorrect. Money equals pay obtained from a job, according to the two-dimensional equation you've been taught. After a certain point, the possibility of finding work becomes the main focus of your schooling. So, what's the problem? You ask, and I'm going to presume that if you're watching this, you want to earn a lot of money in as little time as possible. If that's your aim, then this money-generating equation will never get you there. We all have one valuable resource, the most significant of all. And there's no way to bring it back once it's gone. In a traditional employment, that resource is time. The amount of money you make is determined by how much time you spend into your career. It would take roughly 24 years to obtain $1 million if you made $20 per hour and worked 40 hours each week. However, this does not include any taxes or fees that you may spend over the next 24 years. Not to mention that inflation would depreciate your $1 million. The fact is that with a $20 an hour job, you can only become a billionaire in your old age by living frugally, and much of that valuable resource known as time has passed through your fingers. You exchanged all that time for money, and it wasn't even a large sum. So, once again, you may wonder, how come there are self-made millionaires and billionaires at such early ages? What distinguishes them? And, in fact, they have a better equation than you. They have a way of comprehending money that you don't fully fathom. Observe very closely. Stop going after money in a capitalist world. The game's rules are as follows. You are paid in proportion to your perceived value, and the people who perceive your value are the market, the consumers of the economy. The market is you, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your country. People complain that football players are overpaid, but in order for players to be paid millions, there must first be a market for the football industry. People must first recognize the worth of football in order to spend money on matches and goods. And if there is a big demand for football, guess what happens to the players who are at the top of their game? They get compensated well. It doesn't matter how hard you work. The cleaner who sweats and exhausts himself every day gets paid significantly less than the accountant who sits behind a desk. Why? Because, as harsh as it may seem, the market judges the value of what the cleaner performs to be significantly less than that of the accountant. Anyone may take over as cleaner. Because it is not difficult to learn how to execute his work, the market will not pay him more than the accountant. The person who spent years studying statistics and has saved his customers hundreds of dollars in taxes. Having said that, we just addressed how finding a job isn't the appropriate equation for collecting a large quantity of money in a short period of time. So, how can we raise our perceived value? What is it about folks like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos that gives them such a high perceived value? The first stage in this wealth calculation is fairly easy. If you want money to solve issues, take a moment to consider this statement. You will see that almost all money stems from this fundamental principle. Money will be thrown at it if it addresses a problem. If the issue is worth $1 million, the solution will be worth $1 million. If it's $1 billion issue, the solution will cost you billions of dollars. Consider all of the difficulties that a site like Amazon solves, the bother of traveling to a shop, the pain of having to wait weeks for a delivery, and the hassle of paying lower prices. And so on, to name all of the other firms owned by Amazon and the issues they address. Jeff Bezos assisted in the resolution of a multi-billion-dollar challenge and was rewarded positively for his efforts. If you've been pursuing money, you've been doing everything wrong. It may seem odd, But if you desire money, you should search for challenges and, more importantly, answers to those problems. And after you've identified that answer, turn it into a company. Wait, is that it? Just solve issues and money will emerge. So I'll have to build the next Amazon, Facebook, or Google to get wealthy. You had to be kidding me. Right. I'm not even sure how to code. I don't even have the money to begin anything of that kind. I'm not even holding on. You're falling back into old thought habits, so start with a problem. Always begin with a challenge. Pay attention to the market around you. What are others saying? They dislike what others say they wish existed. What are individuals saying that irritates them? What do individuals consider to be really inconvenient? Is it something you can handle? Is it also an issue worth resolving at the end of this equation? Finding a scalable answer to the issue is the path to prosperity. Starting a non-scalable restaurant requires a large number of people to be affected by your answer. You're limited to the immediate vicinity and its footfall. However, a franchise is more scalable today. Is your solution software-based? That implies that once the program is produced, you may grow it indefinitely online without having to worry about things like manufacturing or shipping expenses. Virtually. Good luck finding an unlimited scale job. But be cautious. Does your solution need your time in order to produce revenue? Assume you were a yoga instructor who charged $100 per hour. Congratulations. You just created another employment disguised as a business for yourself. Because you can only teach a set number of classes in a single day, your revenue is limited in time. However, if you produced a scalable online yoga session that lasted for 47 lessons, you just had to design it once. Scaling your solution is crucial in this case. So don't get too hung up on this. Automation also plays a significant part. If effectively integrated, systems and procedures will keep your organization operating like a well-oiled machine. If there is anything in your company that you can outsource to someone else or hire an employee to perform for you, and it makes financial sense to do so, do it. Asking yourself if everything is a negative thing. You may believe you are the best. Someone else out there can perform a better job than you. Once you've identified a solution, it's your responsibility to ensure that solution is available to everyone in your market. It is not about your ego or what you are passionate about. The market is uninterested in your hobbies. So, now that you have a lucrative firm up and running with the proper procedures and processes in place, it's time to harvest what you sow. There are two possibilities. You may either continue your firm or cash out and sell it at this stage. This is the purchase. This is Instagram getting purchased by Facebook for $1 billion. The minute someone buys the solution that you spent years developing a company around. This is PayPal being sold to eBay for $1.5 billion, of which $165 million went directly to Elon Musk's pocket, as well as the many other liquidation events that occur throughout the globe. This is where all of your hard work in growing your business will pay off. And if you decide to keep operating your firm, there are a variety of reasons for doing so. Perhaps you adore the firm you founded or want to remain with your child. Perhaps you believe you can add more value to the firm and sell it for more than it is now worth. Perhaps such firm operates in the background in a passive manner. so you don't need to do anything to keep things moving. Or maybe it's a combo of the three. In each case, you addressed an issue that the market wanted fixed and were paid handsomely for it. So now I ask you, what was the point of it all? It was never about the money for the majority of you. Money is nothing more than a piece of paper. A number shown on a screen. Its worth is solely supported by our conviction in its worth from the outset. This was never about the money, it was never about paying off the house, getting your dream automobile, or flying across the globe without worrying about your financial status. It's the freedom you've been longing for. Your destination had nothing to do with money. It was a thrill, the capacity to do anything you wanted whenever you wanted without having to think about it. Is this something I can afford? Have I used up all of my vacation days for the year? How am I going to make ends meet? Will I be able to support myself on my pension? What aspirations will I have to give up because I am unable to pursue them? This video's most essential lesson was never about the nature of money. It was perhaps the most precious resource we'd have. Giving up a major amount of your time to a job you presumably don't enjoy is the one resource we will never be able to regain. Is your life structured around working, going home, watching TV, sleeping, waking up the following day, and repeating the process till you retire? How many more hours of your life will you waste due to this pattern? Or maybe you're okay with that reality. Perhaps you have no option but to continue along that route for the time being. And if that's the case, there's nothing to worry about. All you got out of this film was some light amusement and perhaps a shift in perspective. But there are some of you who understand the other side, those of you who want to never have to worry about money again. As a result, I feel compelled to advise you to stop pursuing money and instead pursue issues and their solutions. This is the equation through which all money is discovered. If you want to be free and never have to worry about money again, make issue solving your life's significant fight. Does this imply that you'll be content at the end of the road? Does this imply you'll be happy? That is a question only you can answer. However, if your fight is significant, it may be worthwhile to pursue. Of course, I missed a lot of details in this video. Business, money, and entrepreneurship are simply too broad issues for me to tackle in a single video like this. However, if you wish to go on this trip, I propose that you study the writings of M.J. DeMarco, who was a major inspiration for me to produce this film. And it's also crucial to return to the initial argument I made at the beginning of this, which is that most individuals will fail for a variety of reasons. The most crucial component, though, is failing quickly and moving on to the next thing. And if you're doing something that isn't directly linked to business but you want to earn money from it, ask yourself, what problems am I solving? Could lead you to discover new methods to monetize whatever you're doing. That involves having a job and a career. If you can solve more issues and discover more answers at work, you have something to utilize to negotiate a better compensation. But I'll close with the same message that I've reiterated many times in this video. Stop looking for money and start looking for answers to issues. Hey, you've reached the conclusion of the video, and thank you so much for watching, but don't go just yet. I'd want to take this opportunity to thank you for watching to the very end. These things need a lot of sleepless nights to study, shoot, and edit. So you can understand how grateful I am for your assistance. If you actually appreciate this video, please press the like button. If you despise it, please hit the dislike button again, just to be sure, and leave a comment below explaining why. My intention with this channel has been to provide fun documentary-style films on business, finance, and life in general. And if that seems like something you'd be interested in, stay tuned for more. Click the subscribe button, then the notification bell. Check that all of your alerts are switched on. Having said all of that, I wish you a pleasant remainder of your day. My companions gave me the traditional hand-to-head salutation. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe and hit the like button.